0203 500 8000. Our office is located at 62 Barking Road, East Ham, E6 3BP.
Why spend summer in your room when you can fly off to your dream destination with facilities like car hire and hotel bookings? Well, Flight Masters have got you covered. We offer holiday packages, city breaks and flights at the most reasonable prices with the best provision of services. So why delay? Call us today on 0203 598 9938 or visit our website at www.flightmasters.com.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to an emergency drive time. MashaAllah. So as everyone knows, this is a drive time special. We usually have brother Umar Naveed, who's supposed to be leading today's drive time, but unfortunately he's calling sick, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got a surprise for you guys, which is that we've got the old school, the dons of Minhajul Quran here. We've got Ishsati, we've got brother Nadeem, and we've got myself who's come in, and we thought, you know what, we've got to carry on with the live show extravaganza and come on and do a drive time for you guys. So we are all here. So firstly, I'm going to start off and get the brothers to say their little messages as well. So first of all, to the don, brother Ismail, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, dear listeners, dear viewers, welcome to Ramadan FM. Yes, as Muz correctly said, you are tuned into Ramadan FM 2018 Drive Time Show. And inshallah, today we're going to be talking about a few very interesting topics and share with you some of our personal journeys and experiences of working for a cause and working for a voluntary basis. And yeah, we thought it would be a very good show. So guys, if you do want to call in, share your thoughts, share your experiences, don't forget the number to call is on the screen, 0333 011 6786.
And guys, this is what everyone's been waiting for. It's been 2 years in the making. We used to have him here 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, which was the famous, the controversial show that he used to present, which was The Bitter Truth. And he has entered the Drive Time special today. Brother Nadeem, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, brother Muzammil.
How are you doing? How's the fast going? And how does it feel to be back at Ramadan FM?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Fast is going fine, and I'm glad to be back. Yeah, can't wait to do another show.
MashaAllah, you can see the excitement in his face. So let's get started. Let's get cracking straight away. Firstly, I would like to just say, Ish, you know what? The quality that you seem to find every year in the people that are presenting Ramadan FM. I mean, right now it seems like the sisters are just way ahead. The brothers keep calling in sick and deciding to call it a day and not come in. We have the sisters who seem to be raising the bar, and especially the show that I was listening to quite with focus just before this hour show. And the sisters are truly amazing, truly amazing. The topics that they're taking on are quite daring topics, and for them as youngsters of students of knowledge to pull off that show, I thought it was very impressive. And you know what? It's very, very big credit goes to you as well to find this talent. Truly big up to them. MashaAllah, really, really great effort.
Exactly. I mean, I just want to second that actually. And I was just talking to the sisters just before they went on air, and they are doing an amazing job, and that's what Ramadan FM is all about, and that's what our full-time radio is all about. It's all about giving these young brothers and sisters a platform to speak, to express themselves, to come out with what they believe in and what they're passionate about. Bring it to the table, bring it to the limelight, bring it so we can any guidance or anything that our young generation that's coming up behind us, anything that they need, it's all in the open, and we can basically address issues as and when we see them. So yeah, massive shout out to the sisters. Want to back that, Muz. So it's very well picked up, and also there've been a number of brothers that have been presenting some really interesting shows. Very, very. You got Brother Zail that did the show with the
Sports show.
We got Brother Zail that did the sports show. We got the other brain that done Abrahamic exchanges.
The other
with Zail, the other Zail, the other Zail that did the show. with the
Abraham knowledge.
Abraham exchanges.
That's right.
Where he had a guest from the Jewish faith. We had Brother Zia, who did
Yes.
the schooling guest. Tomorrow we got Shoaib, if you're listening out
Shoaibi.
You told us to plug your show. Well, we're plugging your show. I'm going to let Muz give a bit more details. But don't forget, tomorrow we've got a bad boy drive time coming up. Excellent drive time coming up, guys. Make sure you tune in for that one. Tomorrow, 5 to 7. So, yeah, we have got a packed month for you, but... I think that, you know what, so far we've had some amazing shows, and we've had some really, really interesting discussions going on.
And Ish, just for you to, I think this gets us nicely into our topic, just how you've mentioned that Ramadan FM 2018 now has provided a platform to our volunteers to come forward and work for the deen, whether it's, giving their tech skills, whether it's their presenting skills, whether it's, their production skills and so on. They've come on board, and just this batch of talent that has come on this year, they weren't around before. Whether it was, like you mentioned, the sisters who presented the show previously, the brothers, the few brothers that you've mentioned, they've come on and they're showcasing their talent because they see something here. They see, as they've mentioned themselves, they see this show and this platform as an actual platform for them to raise their issues, to discuss great topics. And I think, this is a great tool to capture youth to come in and work for the deen. I think that's how it goes. But I think we should come on and mention maybe perhaps how it was for us back in the day, where perhaps we didn't have these tools, these platforms. We had, our good old centers that we had to go to and get motivated. So I'm going to fire straight at Nad, who's been a little bit quiet, sort of engaging, and say, Nad, obviously, just to give the listeners a background of Brother Nadeem as well. Brother Nadeem currently is a volunteer who is actually a full-time volunteer, you could say, who currently is managing quite a few building projects of Minhajul Quran International London. Currently, he's in the process of helping the centre build a funeral service. So, alhamdulillah, he's put a lot of effort in getting that delivered, and is currently delivering it right now as a volunteer. So, I'm going to put the question to Nadeem. What has aspired him to be a volunteer of Minhajul Quran? What gives him the focus to be part of Minhajul Quran, and why is he here? Brother Nadeem, put you on the spot.
Yeah, my inspiration from the beginning was Shaykh al-Islam. From the very start, the first time I actually got motivated towards Islam was I listened to it was a VHS cassettes. I only listened to one of them, and I remember asking my parents, who is this person? And then they told me a bit more about him. And then I listened to one cassette, I listened to another cassette, maybe about 3-4 cassettes, and then we were invited we didn't know there was a centre, Minhajul Quran centre. And then we were invited by one of our relatives to come. And that's when I turned up here, and the first person that we actually bumped into, it was Brother Abdul Basit, which is Ismail's brother. Yeah, that was the first person. And then that's when, he introduced us a bit more further into the mission. We talked about the mission a bit more. And then I was like, in this day and age, in our day and age, back in the 90s, because it was about 94, 95, that's when we got involved. At that time, what Minhajul Quran was doing, basically nobody else was doing. It was like, we were well ahead of our time. And the amount of projects we had and things we were doing at that time, it was totally different than another masjid. And that's what actually inspired me. I thought, I thought masjid was just about just going there and just read your 5 waqt namaz, and that's it. That's all it is. Do your rows and that's it. No, but apparently it's not that. Islam is actually further than that. It's not just about doing your 5 pillars of Islam. There's other things that you're supposed, as a Muslim, you're supposed to fulfill. And that's where I got the inspiration from. From Shaykh al-Islam, and we ended up as a volunteer in Minhajul Quran Centre.
MashaAllah, brilliant. And now I'm going to come to, because I know I can ask Nad a few more questions and carry this topic up, but I think it'd be good for us to give us a bit of introduction. But yeah, we'll come to Brother Ismail. Everyone knows, mashallah, Brother Ismail is the face of the radio, whether he likes it or not. Mashallah, Brother Ismail's putting a lot of effort in currently to deliver the full-time radio as well as the Ramadan FM as well. We'll go into further details about that a little bit later. But yeah, a truly gifted, truly inspirational volunteer. He is one of the reasons why I'm here as well. We go off each other, we banter with each other, we have a very good friendship. But alhamdulillah, seeing Ismail over the years as a very what do you call it? He's an asset of Minhaj al-Quran International London, and a lot of his resources are put into a volunteer basis. Brother Ismail, why are you here?
I ask myself that question all the time, bro. And I say, there's in Punjabi they say, ya ta tu pagal hai, ya main pagal hu, So but look, the reality is I think that the actual reality is that I came to this place as a mosque. It was a mosque, There's mosques everywhere. There's a local mosque to me around the corner. My dad's always been, a mosque goer, somebody that's gone listen to scholars doing speeches or whatever. We just always used to go from one mosque to another. And it was actually at the age of 14 that I walked into this mosque as well. And I can remember back then, this was a mosque, and then suddenly a man who is today we know as Shaykh al-Islam, Dr. Tahir al-Qadri, he's here. And what he did at that time, I'm talking about 1994 here, so I was 14 years old, and I can remember walking in as a 14-year-old, and he said to the mosque committee, and we all know the image that comes in our mind when we say mosque committee. He said to the mosque committee of that time that, listen, you guys have done a fantastic job. You've bought the center. You carry on doing your thing. But I'm setting up a separate platform called MYL, which was the Muslim Youth League. And this Muslim Youth League will have its own structure. It will have its own president. It will have its own sadr. It will have its own general secretary. It will have its own treasury, and they will do the work which they want to do, and they will use this center. And I'm telling you, to the committee, you have to support them. You have to allocate a certain amount of fund to them so they can carry out their project. And I was 14 years old, and for the first time I can remember sitting myself in meetings, and some people are asking opinion of, what's your opinion? I'm like, me? I didn't know I had an opinion. I didn't know I was
allowed to have an opinion.
I didn't know I was allowed to express my opinion.
Yes.
And you're asking me about my opinion.
He didn't even know his own name.
Exactly. I literally, I was like, okay, but I was given a voice. I was given a platform, and I was 3 years later, at the age of 17, I was the president of the MYO. I became the president of this Muslim Youth League. And I had people that were senior to me, under me, and from there on I just thought to myself, wow, what a platform, and that's what Shaykh al-Islam has done. He's given a platform. And now I think in today's day and age is basically we need to carry on providing that platform, expanding that platform for our next generation. So I think that knowing that what it done for me and what it gave me, and wanting to give that back to the generation that's coming behind me, that's my inspiration.
MashaAllah, that is really powerful. I mean, for you to summarize that in such a short time, unbelievable, MashaAllah. I think you guys fall into the 90s era. So I could put myself into the 2000s era, maybe.
After the millennium era.
The millennium era. So yeah, I mean, with me, myself, it was an interesting way of capturing or getting engrossed in this mission. For me, as a youngster, when I was at uni, I was always an activist, always trying to find out, answers, trying to go to gatherings, go to circles, trying to find a route to a purpose or direction to work. And you could never find it. In uni, you would struggle, whether it's Akida issues, whether it's, other issues that would take place in uni. It just wasn't for me. And then what used to happen was at our local masjid, we used to go to circles there, and we used to go to dhikr sessions there. And what we wanted to join that scholar and say that, look, we want you to deliver more classes, more circles in English. And just to get through that committee that we were talking about and try to get work done, it was like a barrier to entry. It wasn't going to happen. You go to them and they say, "But don't worry, grow up a bit and then you come back to us." That kind of attitude. And I thought, wow, this is just not heading anywhere. You want to do genuine work and you're showing an interest, but you're getting blocked. What is this? And for me, that was very downer. And then luckily at that point, someone had mentioned that go to a Minhaj al-Quran circle and see how you go. So fine. And that's what happened. I came to a Minhaj al-Quran circle, and before you know it, I'm seeing all youngsters, our age there and a little bit older, and you think, wow, I can connect here. There's not people of people that there's a barrier here also all of a sudden. And then from those circles, what had happened was one of the brothers then said, okay, look, come to one of our meetings where we are organizing an event, and see how you feel. I said, brilliant, I'll come down. And before you know it, you're sitting in that meeting and you're asked, like your situation. I think we've all had this situation. That what is your viewpoint? I think it was actually in Nadeem's house where that the meeting took place. And it was asked that, what is your viewpoint on this? What do you feel about this? And I'm taking a step back and thinking, wow, what's going on here? A youth's opinion is actually valued.
Yeah. I'm
actually going to be a stakeholder. Yes, to some people's eyes, it was just an event. But for me, it was like, my penny's worth has delivered this event. 2,000 to 3,000 people have turned up to this event, and I've added my 2 pennies worth to it. And that was just like, wow.
And powerful. You're talking about the Mawlid that was in Walthamstow.
Exactly. So for me, that was like inspirational, because I've added my little penny's worth to deliver this event. And I thought, wow, and this was before I have met the leader of the organization, before I have even met yourself probably, and others of the organization. I thought, what, my opinion, my efforts are getting valued here. This is surely something that's going to count towards something. And then from there, everyone knows my journey, those people that know me, a simple youth worker working under my mentor at that time, which was Brother Rafiq, who was the head of MYL. So working under him, doing stalls and so on. Through that, I toppled him and took his role. And that was given to me in a very, I had only been in the organization on a very limited time. And, I was called to a meeting and all of a sudden said, all right, mate, how you doing? What's your name? Where do you go to uni? You're the leader of MYO London. And I thought, whoa, where's that come through? I've just literally come into the organization and you've just thrown me in the deep end. Yeah. And to the credit to Brother Thessin, maybe he saw something as MYO UK president, but he said, no, you go and deliver it. I thought, okay, let me see what I can do. And from being put in the deep end to being head of MYO London, and now, we're one of the heads of the actual center. Yeah. So it's been an amazing journey. Still going strong, inshallah, many years to come as well.
But Muz, you mentioned a couple of points there which I want to pick up on. First thing is you said about the fact that you were thrown in the deep end.
Yes.
And but that's exactly it. This is the only way that you're going to learn in these situations is by being thrown in the deep end.
Without a doubt.
So, like I was just saying to the sisters that were doing the show before, don't worry, this is your show. You take it however you want. Do you understand? Yeah. So they may feel that. So there's got to be that balance between being thrown in the deep end and given that authority to carry out work, and then at the same time be given the relevant guidance. But that guidance can't be imposing, where it's just the level of, you're just the doer and I'm just the person that dictates to you what's to be done. And I think that the beautiful thing with Minhaj al-Quran is, I hear our president, Brother Khurram, he says this all the time. You've got something to say, you've got something to do, come in and do it. Exactly. Literally every meeting he's saying that, and we're very open, and that's a really beautiful thing, that that balance, that being able to do something and being given the support. I think that, alhamdulillah, there's got to be something that's happening that is that's showing that's contributing towards the progress that we're making.
Definitely, I think and I'm going to bring Nad into this as well. Is that what you just mentioned about as volunteers throwing into the deep end? This is something. Let's explore a little bit further. If you notice that how an organization, a volunteer organization that can thrive and deliver quite interesting projects, whether it's you're pulling off Wembley conferences, whether you're pulling off Al Hadayas, whether you're producing a building, you're doing the radio, all these projects, it seems that they thrive with the volunteers. When you're thrown in the deep end, you can do all the planning that you want. You could try to get all the volunteers. You could try to do volunteer management. But when we're thrown in the deep end, it seems like that's when the it brings out those gems of volunteers that would come and help you deliver a project. That's right. I'm like Nadeem yourself with the building stuff that's going on right now. It's like whenever the pressure's on you, it's like, you know what? I need to get this done and let's get it done now. What am I going to do to deliver this? It seems like that. It's like a you could say a ignition to us being volunteers.
Yeah, it's like a fuel, isn't it?
Yeah.
You light the fuel and it's lit, and it's the same way. And do you know what? It's the pressure.
It's the pressure.
It's the pressure too. And then it's not only just that. Do you know what? When you're thrown in the deep end, especially if you've got love for this mission, if you understand the mission, you're gonna complete that task you're given.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
No matter how long it takes, you're gonna complete it. And that's what it is. Once you understand the mission, and then once you understand Shaykh al-Islam, you're ready to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, Nad, you mentioned the mission, and I was just actually talking to my daughters the other day about the mission. I was saying, I was saying to them, do you know what mission is? Do you know what mission means? And let's define what mission is. So we went through a few scenarios. So my little one, who's 6 years old, she goes, "It's a task," and I said, "Yeah, it's a task. It's right, but what? Elaborate on it more." So. We established that a mission is a task, but it's a collection of many tasks when they come together, and you have an objective. But to get to that objective, you need to carry out a number of tasks. That becomes a mission. That's why we say in English, "Oh, I ain't doing that, bro. That's a mission."
That's a mission.
You understand? Because you know that to do that, you need to do a number of things. And I want to basically put a little bit, if I may, just put a little bit of Islamic context into this as well, in terms of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was sent with a mission. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق, that my Prophet, that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, my Rasul, we have sent him with two things, with hidayah, guidance, and deen al-haq, and the true deen. These are two tools he's been given. But what is he here for? He's here for لِيُزْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّ, so that this deen may be implemented across the entire globe. This is his mission. This deen, his job was to implement this deen. And when we talk about this deen, we're talking about a system of justice must be implemented across the world, a system of peace, a system of unity, a system of brotherhood. This was the Prophet ﷺ's mission. And after he passed away, this mission was passed on to Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala. After he passed away, he passed this mission on to Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu. He passed it on to Hazrat Uthman ibn Affan, who passed it on to Hazrat Ali. And this mission was passed on from generation to generation, from scholar to scholar. The mission was the same. Today we find ourselves carrying on that same legacy, that mission which was inaugurated and started by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we connect ourselves and the work that we do. And you spoke about what's your inspiration, and Nad mentioned that Shaykh al-Islam is our inspiration. And yes, Shaykh al-Islam is our inspiration, that the physical living person that we can see in front of us, and ask him what his inspiration is, and he says, my inspiration is just that I can see a smile on the face of that beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam who gave him the mission. You know, so mission basically is working for the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, working for the path of Allah, working for the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, working for the deen of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we're blessed to be part of an organization. And when you work for anything, you have to work in an organized way.
Yeah.
You know, because if you want to achieve something, you have to be you know, the difference between, you'll know people that go to uni, or you know, that have, you know, multiple, they're going to uni, they've got exams going on and they're working as well. They know they'll have their diary with them. They'll have to be very organized. Being organized is very important. And if you're going to work for the deen on an individual basis, then that's not going to get you anywhere. You have to be organized, and to be organized, you have to be part of an organization. You know, and that's where Minhaj al-Quran comes in, that it organizes people, it organizes us to work for that mission. So that's where this context comes in. So yeah, alhamdulillah, that's my 2 P's there, bro.
Ish is on fire today.
Ish is right.
Even with the Rosa, mashallah, is happening.
Eventually, them streams and rivers, they actually go into a sea.
Exactly.
And where's the sea?
Mashallah. Now let's bring this down. Being a volunteer, look, without a doubt, we've established that we have this buzz. We have this, it's like the fire inside that, you know, you could be working 15, 16 hours in your day job. You could then go home, do your chores, then come, you know, do your other work, listen to family issues and whatever. You could be battered, but then as soon as you walk in and you're given a project of, you know, Minhaj al-Quran or a deen project, the buzz, the fire that lights up in your heart to deliver that project, it beats all whatever stresses and whatever you're doing on a day-to-day basis. But that balance is always an issue that we're always fighting with.
Yeah,
and this is something that I thought I'll you know, go on to. The first aspect of the balance, you would argue, is that some people say, okay, you know, you're working for the deen, you're delivering an event, you're delivering a project, you're delivering a task, and so on. Your spirituality or your Islamic knowledge aspect is getting affected. That's what some people argue, that look, you're not taking the effort to grow that. Some people would argue that, look, as me, what does Islamic enhancement mean? I would go and learn more knowledge, read a few hadiths, learn some Quran. But to some people who want to work, they will say, no, for me, Islamic enhancement is for me to do work for the deen. So, you know, where would that balance? What are your thoughts with that, Ish? Like, you know, this is the constant battle.
I think I'll let Nad comment, because I think the amount of time Nad's putting in,
that's true. As a volunteer, it beats us all.
You know, exactly.
Yeah.
So the hours that he's putting in. So I think, Nad, you tell me, bro, how you coping with getting that balance right?
Yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult because, do you know what? It is hard. Because really, we should be gaining that knowledge, or even spiritualism or whatever. You do, like, I'll give you an example, like every Saturday there's a Mehfil Zikr. And sometimes when I'm at the back there finishing the funeral care, I really want to go to the Mehfil Zikr on Saturday, but I might finish like 6:30.
You're just battered.
And Mehfil is, I'm battered. And the Mehfil Zikr might start, I just say 8, 7:30, 8. But you know what? I can't be asked to even hang around and then go through the Mehfil because I'm knackered. You know, because I've gave so much time. So really, do you know, really and truly, any volunteer work that you do, it should be balanced. It should be. I mean, I know I'm going overtime.
Hypocrite.
But really, it should be balanced, because you know what? Your family comes into it, because you're actually cutting your family time out of it. Your kids are not getting enough time. Your kids are getting neglected. You know, it should be all balanced, really. You know, that's my experience. You know, but then there's an urge in you.
That's it.
That's that urge in you that, you know what, I want to get my organization, or I want to give Islam that advantage of getting to a certain position, you know, financially or whatever it is. You know, you have that drive into you, and you know, Allah gives you that strength to do it.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, that's true. But then at the same time, look, I think that this is the reason why the Prophet ﷺ emphasized balanced, and he said that my way is the middle way. You know, because
before you go into the balance, now I'm gonna try to go a little bit more deep, and I'm sure you're probably heading towards that direction as well. That, you know, as Nad's saying that, you know, it sometimes is his wish when he's delivering the project at the back that he can come and perhaps take advantage of a dhikr gathering. Now, could it be, you know, if we go into the deep, because the satisfaction that he feels when he's delivered a day's work and got, you know, seeing the progression of the work to the next phase and so on, the satisfaction his heart gets is unbeatable. And isn't that spirituality in itself? You would argue that, you know, when we are delivering a project and you see it, look, bro, Ish, let's be frank, you know, there's been many projects that we've had arguments. You know, people think, oh, me and Ish Seti are like best friends and we're buddies, and, you know, Ish Seti and Moz never argue. But I'm telling you guys, we've had it all, and we still have it. We still have it. Oh, exactly. And
just don't check out WhatsApp messages.
Just don't check. And surprisingly, yeah, guys, if I say to you that Nad is the mediator, people would laugh. But yeah, on many occasions, Nad's been the mediator. But this is how we operate. But that's the love that we have and the urge to deliver a project to its finish. Now, we go through these battles, we go through the meetings, the deliverings and whatever, and then when we reach the conclusion and you see it to a satisfactory conclusion, what the heart feels at that time, surely that is spiritual enhancement, no?
Well, look, I want to say there's 2 points here I want to mention. The first thing is picking up what Nad said, and then what you said as well just now is about the balance. Look, this is something that is emphasized by the Prophet ﷺ. I want to bring keep things in context, and the balance is very important. We all know about the incident where, you know, a man that was in continuous prayer and, you know, neglected his wife and neglected his children, and when the Prophet ﷺ met his wife, asked about her, you know, her husband, and he said, you know, subhanallah, he spends his nights on the prayer mat and he spends his day in fasting. And the Prophet ﷺ said, call him to me, and said that this is not the deen. Do you understand? You've got a wife who's got a right over you. You've got children that have got rights over you. And you know, I'll be the first to hold my hand up and say, you know what, my balance is totally wrong. You know, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle to try to basically get that balance right. But seeing as we're talking about from a perspective where it's recognizing that the balance is wrong, but I would say to you also, a lot of the times it could be, you know, working for and this is another perspective as well, that, you know what, we're saying, oh, with completion of project, our heart feels satisfied. Is it going to give you that spiritual, that you know, satisfaction? You know what? Maybe if we're not basically doing those dhikr sessions, if we're not doing our salah, if we're not doing our thing, then maybe that's what it becomes. It becomes you're satisfying yourself. You're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for that smile that Shaykh al-Islam is doing it for. Do you understand? Maybe having that gives you that balance. Having that, you know, and we really need to, people that are working for the deen. I think that having the balance right. If you don't have that right, then I mean, if you're not praying, if you're not doing your basics, you're talking about extra things, you know, doing dhikr or whatever. But if you're not doing the basics,
if you're not doing,
then you know, I think that there's a problem somewhere. There's a big problem.
By the way, Ish, Facebook Live surprisingly is kicking off. There's a lot of chat there, and there's a special big slap from Zainab to you.
Is that?
Because I think we're all sitting here. We can preach as much as we like, but I think we're all hypocrites when it comes to time and giving time to our wives and giving time to our families. I think we're all not very good at it. So
I don't see no big slap from Zainab.
Oh, there's one there, and I actually confirmed to her that, look, Zainab, is that a big slap? And she goes, yes, there is. So yeah, that's interesting there. But yeah, absolutely agree with you that as part of a volunteer, I think to sustain a long-term volunteer effort, it's important to have a balance.
Yeah.
Because what tends to happen, what I've seen over the years, is you'll have volunteers who will have amazing motivation and they will give it their all to deliver a project, but then after a while it may fizzle out because they've overkilled themselves.
Yeah.
You know, you will see very few people who have lasted over the years. But I think this is very important that as a volunteer, we do need to have a work-life balance, and I'm sure my wife's looking at me right now as well, because
You're probably one of the worst.
what I end up doing is I bring my little one and say, look, put the, do some work in it for the deen. and people do see him lifting plates and everything, although he's excited and I'm ticking off a box, but I think that doesn't really go too well with the wife, unfortunately. But I'm sure we'll learn. I'm sure we will learn.
I'm sure we got big lectures now when we go home.
This is it. So we were gonna go, guys. Remember on drive time
we're doing iftari outside today, boys.
Guys, remember Friday, myself, Awas, and Abdul Halim launched the deed of the day. So today's deed of the day is us three are gonna go home today and maybe put a plate on the table.
Exactly.
And help the wives out. So inshallah, we'll be delivering that today. And tick off our deed of the day.
Yeah, just make sure it's not a plate, just your own plate.
Exactly. But yeah, now as time is, mashallah, as time is very short now, it only makes sense that we are talking about projects, and we are Minhaj al-Quran. One of the most exciting things about Minhaj al-Quran International London is what you said, Brother Khurram was saying, that whoever wants to do work, come. That's what we're all about. Whoever wants a project, whoever wants to add their time, whoever wants to give any sort of time and effort, you have just through Ramadan FM seen the talent and the different scales of people, the different backgrounds of people that walk through Minhaj al-Quran. So we're urging everyone that please, guys, get on board and take part in this beautiful project. So now I only feel fit in the last 10 minutes that we get Ish Sethi to give another background to the full-time radio that's coming. Obviously there's the fundraising aspect and there is the volunteer aspect to deliver that project. So Ish, give us an update, how we're getting on with that, and how can we get more volunteers on board with that as well?
First thing I want to say, basically, that the platform, this is a stepping stone, it's a springboard to much bigger things. Do you understand?
Exactly.
The radio is not,
This is just one of the
not
pipes.
the end.
Yeah.
This is a means, to basically do much bigger things, and it will open up many doors, like it has already opened up doors. We've seen that it's opened up the door to a full-time license. There are talks of very senior people within the organization saying, well, this is perfect and it can open up doors to an internet TV channel. I'm not talking about a Sky channel, I'm talking about an internet-based TV channel where we can do live shows and have them recorded professionally. So that will bring itself be a platform, and it's about opening up that platform. Where we are at the moment, alhamdulillah, I want to just basically say pretty much everything in terms of the business plan, the planning of the premises, the designing of the studios, that stuff is pretty much done. Straight after Ramadan, the installation company for the radio, they want a deposit. They want to deposit to basically come and install. After Ramadan, we do not want to be waiting around. For that, we need £50,000. So what we thought was, instead of a few people donating a lot, why don't a lot of people donate a little?
Yes.
So we've spread it out that way.
Very
and we've
good.
said, look, our beneficiaries are listening to us right now. The people who are who have been tuning into the radio, they will be the direct beneficiaries of the radio. What we're appealing for is we want 500 people to donate £100 each. That's not a big amount, it's a bite-sized amount. You go out with a family for a meal out, that's what you're going to spend. £100, that's what we're asking for. So again, I want to just basically say, you're going to, and then these people that call in and donate, you're going to have your name printed in a collage, which will be part of the radio design. The new radio station, we will have a collage designed artistically, and your names will be put in that, so you can say, that's just basically there to that you're one of the contributors, one of the founders of the radio. So you know what? Let's get a few phone calls in, Muz. Let's ask these people to call in.
We say dig deep now, yeah?
That's
good,
now,
that's
bruv.
good, inshallah.
There's no time like the present.
I mean, look, mashallah, we've got listeners who are tuned in. I can see on Facebook Live. If anyone wants to donate, they can put a message up there, and we will send them a link. Or guys, you can give us a call on 0333 011 6786. Ismail, you could see the passion for him in delivering this project. I've seen it over the course of the last couple of months, and yes, it is going to be certainly a platform. I mean, you saw the sisters early on mentioning that, look, this is going to be a platform for us to showcase ourselves, and for them to say that and pick up on that in itself shows amazing. So guys, once again, I'm going to get everyone, whoever can call in. I'm not very good on the phones, so, but we'll work it out, inshallah. If you want to call in to donate, the studio number is 0333 011 6786. While we're contemplating on the next move, I'm just going to take this literally a minute to mention the shows that are coming up. So firstly, we have Drive Time tomorrow, who will be debuting tomorrow. It's Brother Shoebi. So he's going to do a sports show kind of drive time. So it'll be something different, something exciting. And he's got Dr. Zafar Iqbal, who was the ex-Liverpool Football Club doctor. Boo, I don't know about Liverpool, but yeah. Okay, fair enough. So we've got him. And Wednesday, we have our brother Ish Sethi, right? Doing
That's
a drive
right.
time. Ish,
Yes.
tell us what your drive time is all about.
My drive time, inshallah, I'm going to be discussing the role of the British Mosque. We've got the chairman of East London Mosque and the president of MQI London, along with the chairman of Al-Madina Barking. Yeah.
Mashallah. So that is going to be quite a big show as well. And who we got on Thursday, drive time?
Thursday, we have got Cameron Yunus,
yes.
who was a former lecturer at Middlesex University. Currently, he is the owner of Century 21.
Wow.
He'll be coming down and talking to us, inshallah.
And Friday, we don't need to say who's coming. It's going to be the
Some
self-made dream
some
team.
jokers. We've got some jokers.
Some jokers are coming down on Friday, so yes, we don't need to go there. So yeah, we've got, that's our shows for the week. Quite exciting shows coming up, quite different shows, and it's good to see. What I'm liking about this year is the new talent that's coming through, which is quite exciting to see that a lot of new presenters are coming through. You know, whether it's the sisters earlier, whether it's Brother Shoaib, who's actually taken on a full-on 2-hour prime slot this year. You know, looking forward to that as well, for him to be delivering that as well. Very, very, very well-spoken person as well. So yeah, alhamdulillah, with the Ramadan FM 2018 seems to be in good hands, seems to be in good stride as we head in through the course of Ramadan. As mentioned, guys, the fundraising for us is quite critical. We want to see not this radio, we've been doing it for the last probably 3 to 4 years as a part-time Ramadan radio. Now we're saying that, look, we've got the experience, we've got the backing, we've got the volunteers, we've got the team, we've got the experience, we've got the premises. We're saying, guys, we are ready to take this to the next step. And before we even say to people, look, there's a proposal that we want to go full-time, or we're thinking about that we want to get a studio, we've already ticked those boxes off. We've got the license in our hand.
Yes.
Now it's all about
We're
deliverance.
ready to go.
Exactly. We are ready to go. So all we're asking the public out there, the listeners out there, look, you see what we can do. You can see that what your children are doing. You know, there's a lot of parents out there that can see what their children are able to do, and what other parents are out there that they could potentially see what their children can do. The world is their oyster. This is going to be their platform to deliver. Surely, as Ish is saying, this will be a project that would kickstart other projects. Yes, but inshallah, we will be able to deliver a lot of projects. So we want everyone who's listening, who's going to listen to this clip later, that please, guys, get on board. Give the donation hotline a call. Give Ish Sethi a call. Find out about the radio. And all we're asking for is just £100 per person.
Sorry,
yes,
Brother Mazambal, have I got this right, Ish, that there's also a raffle you're doing for some of the
That's right.
donations?
That's right.
Do you want to just...
Yeah, so basically, whoever donates, your name goes into a raffle. Yeah, if you donate £100, you'll basically get one raffle.
Oh, okay. So it's automatic.
Yeah, well, basically, you need to call in and list your name down.
Fine.
So you make the payment.
Yep.
And
you
what's
have
it
to
called? Your
mention
name-
that you want to go into the raffle.
Exactly. You go into the raffle, and we've got prizes. Go on, Ned. What are our prizes?
The first prize was it was a
48-inch
48-inch LCD
LCD
TV.
HD
TV.
full
Wow,
HD,
Yeah.
1080p TV,
And
which
the
has been donated to us, and we have
Mashallah.
got we
The
have
second
got
prize was a It's basically a radio, isn't it?
It's a radio. It's a radio, but
It's a radio. It's one of them digital radios with Bluetooth connectivity. It's one of them
state of the art.
state of the art. So it's
Yeah.
everything's clear. It's not one of them cheap radios. It's quite it's expensive radios.
It's a good radio, and then we've
We've
got
got third
we've got the Google Mini.
Mashallah.
We've got the Google Mini. So
Yeah,
yeah,
third
we
prize
got
is Google Mini.
that's just basically to create a bit of excitement. But remember it's the cause. It's the cause is the
Cause.
biggest thing
It's the
here.
cause.
You know, so if you believe in the cause, you believe in the team that the ability of the team that they can deliver the cause, and you feel that this is going to benefit you, then please, guys, we require this, and we require this ASAP, because
Yes.
straight after Ramadan, I want to basically phone up the guys that have come and given us our studio quotation and say, here you go, here's the money, come and do your thing, come and install the radio, the studios, and we're ready to roll.
And just as a cliffhanger, I'm gonna leave at the end is as we are encouraging the £100 donations, we're also looking for big donations as well, and there will be something interesting announced on Friday, Seti. So if you're looking at me, you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That we will be announcing on Friday. So something will be set on Friday. So that is a cliffhanger that I'm leaving. We are encouraging bigger donations as well. But to make those pockets dig deep, I'm going to be encouraging everyone to listen in on Friday on what I'm going to announce. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Ish has got his head down a little bit, but yeah, just keep that in mind, what I've just said there. But we are coming up with different, whether it's challenges, whether it's raffles, whether it's, whatever it is. If people have got suggestions that they want to portray to us, then tell us. We will then come up with ways to get to that target, inshallah. We need to get to that target in Ramadan in order for there to be a swift process. So guys, without any further delay, thank you for listening to Drive Time. I'm going to ask for the final messages from our brothers, and inshallah we have Sheikh Sadiq Qureshi who's coming on next, so please stay tuned for that. But before any delay, Brother Nadeem, with your final remarks.
Yeah, thank you everybody for listening to us and putting up with us. Thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum.
And Brother Ish, go for it.
Ramadan Kareem, make sure you guys have a healthy Ramadan. Make sure you do lots of ibadat and make dua for your brothers and sisters around the world. And inshallah, we'll see you soon.
MashaAllah. For Ish to say healthy Ramadan. Very interesting. I'll let everyone ponder over that as well, what he meant by that. But guys, once again, stay tuned. Go onto our website, RamadanFM2018.com. Go onto our Facebook, like our Facebook page. The likes are increasing every day, Ish, mashallah. Like that. See what the updates are. Take interest. Give Ish a call. Come down to the studio. Inshallah, be part of this amazing project, inshallah. We are trying our best to deliver it. We need your support as well. So once again, guys, thanks for listening to Drive Time, this special Drive Time for today. Inshallah, stay tuned for Sheikh Sadiq Qureshi, who is next. Take care. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.